watching another segment of the Cali Effect. It is that time of the year, that most wonderful time of the year, and no, I'm not talking about Christmas. It's that time of the year that everybody and their mother decides to say what's coming off the ban list. Well, this is a very interesting video, as you guys could have seen on the title that's right up there, you know, above your head. What cards would you want off the forbidden list? Now, I don't want you guys to post some huge, gigantic list of cards of butt hurt and feelings of one whole list, so we're gonna make this into a game. The game is you guys can pick one card from every part section of the list. That's right, you must pick one forbidden card, one limited card, and then one semi-limited card. Furthermore, you can pick one card that is not on the list to either be forbidden, semi-limited, or limited. Now, with those rules of this game being said, I hope you guys can follow on. One more thing, I want you guys to like this up, share this video, do what you have to do so everybody can see this video. Now, granted, I don't want you to do that for all my videos, but I'm putting emphasis on this because it is probably going to be the greatest discussion of all time. And as long as you guys can back up your opinion, I don't really see any problem saying, oh, that's stupid. Because if you have a logical explanation, normally you don't put cards like, you know, I want Rescue Cat off the list. Just to say that, please back your opinion up, or at least say, hey, I'm biased. I want it off the list because it looks cute. I mean, come on, who doesn't love Rescue Cat though? First on my list, I'm going to be unbanning a card. Now that's right, off of all the cards on this forbidden list, the Cali Effect has sat down and critically thought about what card should be unbanned. And my pick was Dark Magician of Chaos. Now, Dark Magician of Chaos is probably one of the more controversial picks on the list because he has an interesting effect. He's a 2800 attack monster, and any monster he destroys by battle is removed from play instead. But that's not what makes Dark Magician of Chaos really good. What makes him really good is that when he is summoned, you get to add one spell card from your graveyard to your hand. I know, right? You know, Dark Hole's at 2, right? Geki's at 1, Snatch Steel's at 1, and the Cali Effect couldn't have picked the perfect time to put D-Mock, you know, to 1 as well. Well, a lot of people don't understand why D-Mock was initially banned. There was a loop with Dark Magician of Chaos where it would be Cyber Rally on the field, D-Mock, and then you have the Spell Economics on the field and Dimension Fusion, and you would draw out your whole deck. It can also be did with the Match Driver loop to burn off your opponent. Essentially, you keep on banishing D-Mock and then special summoning with D-Fusion to bring D-Mock back, which will add the D-Fusion, and Spell Economics will make it all do for free, and you get a continuous loop. That was the biggest reason why D-Mock was banned. Also, there were a lot of great spell cards back then when D-Mock was, you know, popping. But now, we have Dark Hole, Raigeki, and Snatch Steel. Two of the three of these cards are not really that great. I mean, you know, seeing that Dark Hole is kind of at 2 for a reason. It's not really beneficial against players anymore. Dark Holing my opponent's field isn't as good as Dark Holing my opponent's field back in 2003. Whereas my opponent would dedicate resources to the board and then Dark Holing would essentially hurt them. Nowadays, Dark Hole doesn't mean anything the same for Raigeki. Snatch Steal is a really good card, but Snatch Steal has some restrictions. You know, first of all, being an equipped spell card, which is its greatest strength, making it a little more searchable, is also its greatest weakness. It can't equip face-down monsters. In most decks, it's almost counterproductive, and there's a lot of times where I see my opponent Snatch Steal something and I'm like, take it. I'll let that sit on the field and gain thousands of life points every turn. Thank you. So Snatch Steal would probably be the best target for Dark Magician of Chaos if you can bring D-Mock off in a dedicated deck, because the game has definitely changed past to just splash Dark Magician of Chaos in your Dark deck or your Teledad deck and then be able to abuse off its powers. Dark Magician of Chaos really now dedicates himself to one specific deck, being Prophecy. I think that's one of the only decks that could fully abuse the card to its potential. A 2800 body attack is nothing to scuff at. It can get over a lot of cards in the game. But also, I mean, come on. It's 2800 attack. It's level 8, and it doesn't have a built-in summoning condition like most cards do in this game with that much attack. That is the biggest reason why I think D-Mock should come off the list. There are only the trifecta of spell cards that are genuinely good. Dark Hole, Raigeki, and I was going to say Monster Reborn. Oh god. Let's not get back there. Dark Hole, Raigeki, and Snatch Steal. And beyond those cards, Dark Magician becomes more mediocre than if not very good. The next card that I wanted to be talking about off the list is we're going to go right to the limited part of the list. On the limited list, I'm going to be taking Book of Moon off the list, and I'm going to be putting it to 3. Now that's a bold move from the Cali Effect. Players often wonder why Book of Moon is on the list. In theory, it is a -1 advantage at the time you activate it. you know, flipping a monster face down doesn't really seem too great. But Book of Moon has so much hidden advantage in that -1, you wouldn't even believe it. Book of Moon stops synchro summons, exceed summons, certain monsters' effects activating, like ignition effects. Because of their face down, you can't activate them. And then it also prevents monsters from attacking. Essentially, Book of Moon is probably one of the most versatile spell cards in the game. And it's such a shame that it's at 1. Why? Because I guess it kind of has that Royal Oppression-like effect. You sit on a huge board, your opponent has something, tries to make a comeback, you Book of Moon and prevent them from doing that. But times will change. I really think Book of Moon can come back because it promotes skill play, first of all. And secondly, it is the best -1 in the game to play. It allows you to stop your opponent from locking you out with cards like, I don't know, Majesty's Fiend, Vanity's Fiend, Jinzo, not Spell Counselor. Let's go away from here. Most of the cards that I just stated, Book of Moon can stop. And that's what I really feel is so good about Book of Moon. It is probably the best universal -1. Don't really know why it's on the list. The game is a lot faster than what it was before, when Konami did want us to exceed and synchro and all that other stuff a lot more. And Book of Moon can help slow a lot of the more competitive decks down, giving the tier 2 and lower decks a chance. Next on my list, we're going to be looking at the semi-restricted list and then taking a card off. I picked Lonefire Blossom. Now, Lonefire Blossom is a card that kind of wrecks people's souls. You know, if you open Lonefire Blossom and Soul Charge, you can make a Quasar, you know, with only 2 Lonefire Blossom. So people are wondering, Cali Effect, why are you even thinking about this card? Well, first of all, Quasar is not that much of a card anymore. It's sad to say stuff like that. That cards with so much power and attack and strength are just not that great anymore. But Lonefire Blossom serves 2 purposes. The first purpose is that it helps out plant decks. Now, come on, who doesn't want to see plant decks be good? I want to see plant decks be good. The second thing is Lonefire Blossom compared to all the cards that are power creeped up, Lonefire Blossom doesn't really seem that amazing. It does require your normal summon if you can't special summon it for some other way. And logical explanation would be, we are getting new support inside of the Rose Paladin stuff, so it does help out plant decks and hopefully pushes them towards more of the tier 1 competitiveness, because we have not seen a good plant deck since, you know, Sylvans, and Sylvans are nowhere to be found. The last card I will be taking off the Unlimited and then putting it, I want to say limited, is Preparation of the Rites. Now, this was actually probably one of the hardest of my decisions. I sat there for a whole 5 minutes to try to figure out what card did I want to limit. Preparation of Rites, I tried to limit because I realized 2 things. Necros are a very powerful deck, and if I was to address just one card on the list, I would have to address Necros directly. Preparation of Rites allows them to cycle through almost every single one of their Necro monsters to their hand, as well as give them the Ritual spell card in the graveyard. Now, it doesn't seem that great because Rituals require so much requirement, but inside of a search-heavy type Necros deck, it's just too much when they have 3 Manju, 3 Senju, 3 Preparation, 3 this, 3 that, 3 Searchers, 3 Herald, 3 that, like their whole deck searches. And this card just adds even more fuel to the fire because most of the monsters say, if you treated this card, you can blah, 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 blah. So it almost mitigates the cost of even Ritual summoning. Preparation of Rites will definitely slow down Necros and hopefully give other decks more of a chance to even compete against them. Now, I'm not saying that that's the only hit I would do. I'm not saying that that hit's really too much relevant. I'm saying I'm hitting it because Necros do need to be addressed, and that's where I felt that I would address it. Well, thank you guys for watching another segment of the Cali Effect. I really want you guys to post your 4 answers down below, but even further so, give a reason why you're posting. Also, make sure that you share this video to your friends. Hopefully they post their thoughts and suggestions and we can get a conversation going. Most of all, guys, enjoy.